Hey there, boils and ghouls. It's your friend Tats. I'm back with a video, and yeah, I did get a 4K into review for today. Yeah, this, well, yeah, I guess better late than never, but it's like, yeah, I thought actually this wasn't going to come until next week, but today we are going to talk about the 1989 James Cameron film, The Abyss, on 4K now. Well, not exactly, because that's kind of the thing. It's like I think it's fair to say that these are the three 4Ks of James Cameron. I think they're all selling like hotcakes because you notice it seems like nobody can manage to keep them in stock. Either that or else this Fox Disney is really messed up on these. But I'm willing to bet just the interest and the demand for these are so high that I'm willing to bet you that this just they're selling out, and I think they're having trouble keeping them in. But anyway, so yeah, at least I was able to get in the Abyss today. Or, no, actually, it was yesterday. Sorry, I got in the Abyss yesterday, and this is definitely going to be a tricky one to talk about because, well, first of all, let me get it out of the way because I'm looking at it right here. For the digital enthusiast, if anyone gives you a digital code from this release, okay, there's an upside and there's a downside. The upside is you can get the 4K version. The downside is the it's only the theatrical cut. You don't get the 3 hour extended cut. So just a word of warning. But yeah, so like I said, this one is going to be kind of difficult to talk about because I mean, already so many people have come out and talked about this. And in case if you're wondering, yeah, they're right. A lot of them are right. You could tell that this movie is, even though this movie is in 1989 and it was shot on film, yes, Cameron did do a lot of digital restoration in fixing up the picture. So even though this movie is from 1989, the movie looks very much modern. It looks like it came out like last year instead of, well over 30 years ago. So that's something to have to grapple with if you're going to get this release, So just so buyer beware, you're going to have to determine whether or not that's something you want to live with, you know. I've already bought it, and after checking it out and looking at it, after doing some soul searching, and it's like I do get what I get the complaints. I get that people really wanted to preserve the film look and have it look the way it was supposed to, and they didn't like the idea of Cameron doing all this digital restoration to try to make the movie look more modern. I get that, but when I sit down and think about it, it's like, well, I've already bought it, and here it is. So the only thing I can determine is for me personally, I can sit here and say, you know what, just give it some time, and I'm sure eventually I can come to live with it the way it is. Now, if you're the kind of person like, I'm letting you know already. So if you don't like the idea of this looking brand new, looking more like, instead of a movie that's over 30 years old, what about 35? Didn't it say it's an anniversary edition here somewhere? So yeah, I think it's supposed to be an anniversary edition. I think this is 35 years old. So, yeah, so it's up to you. I mean, if, you don't mind the idea of a 35-year-old movie looking like, looking more modern, a lot of digital, restoration on it, trying to look more like a movie that came out last year instead of 35 years ago. If, so, if you're okay with it and you think you're going to be, you're going to be able to handle it, I'd say go ahead and get it. If not, I would just say, maybe if you still got, a VHS of it or, a laser disc or, DVD of it, so I would say, maybe stick with that if you don't like the idea of it looking new and more modern and stuff like this. But, I mean, overall, like I said, I can get used to it eventually. It's definitely not the worst I've ever seen a movie look. I've definitely seen 4Ks look a whole lot worse than this. And even though I do understand what the idea is, yeah. So anyway, so here we go on the disc one for the 4K. We have the Abyss, the theatrical, and the special edition. Now it's kind of tricky though. You're gonna have to go to, I believe it's when you get to the main menu, when you load this up, at least when it did in my player, it started playing the theatrical version. So to get to the extended version, I had to go to setup to find it, and there that's where it was. So in case of maybe you got this and you're like, well, where the hell is the damn extended cut? It says it's on here and I can't find it. So in case if you haven't been able to find it, that's what you have to do. You have to hit go to setup and everything, and it will say go to special edition. So then on disc two, you have the Abyss, the theatrical and special edition on, excuse me, on there. Then disc three, you have bonus features. Let's see here. Bonus varies by format. So just so you know, we have a deep dive, a conversation with James Cameron, the legacy of the Abyss, under pressure, making the Abyss, archives, stills, and video, including the shooting script, original treatment, storyboards, and more. So anyway, so here you go. Nice little slipcover. Not the most amazing slipcover. This friggin' ugly stickers on there. So I was like, yeah, I have to do some work, use some Goo Gone to get that off of there. But anyway, so yeah, not the it's a nice slipcover. Not the most amazing I've ever seen, but there's a side, and there's the back. So, and of course, you got both versions of the movie. The theatrical cut is 2 hours and 20 minutes. The special edition is the extended cut, which runs 2 hours and 51 minutes. So, okay, so here we go. Basically, it's very much the same thing, nothing different really. So, we open it up. Over here, you got the 4K disc, and one thing I'm not particularly crazy about is the two Blu-rays are stacked on each other. So here you go. You got disc 2, the Blu-ray that has both versions of the movie on it, and then disc 3, oops, which is the bonus features. Hopefully you can see that, but yeah, as you can see, I take both of them here, and there you go. There's obviously, of course, no reversible cover art, but so anyway, yeah, it's very simple, very basic, and just overall, like I said, I think I can get used to it. One thing that definitely helps, it is nice to have, more bonus features on it, and so that's something. And like I said, it's just, that's really what it boils down to. I mean, it's like, it, for a movie that, yeah, it's been digitally restored and everything else, I mean, to me, it doesn't look bad. Like I've said, I've seen worse movies, but I do understand, how a lot of film buffs and cinephiles will be, absolutely pissed about this because, like they're not going to want this old movie to look like a brand new film. They're going to want it to try to look as, yeah, cleaned up a little bit, but still try to look as close to the original presentation as what they saw back in the movie theaters back all those years ago. So I do get it. But, that's the thing. So yeah, you're warned. So it's all just a question of, are you willing to take the chance on it? And what it's going to be like. So are you willing to take a shot and say, okay, yeah, I'm willing to go ahead and go for this. And apparently a lot of people don't seem to mind it because, like I said, it looks like I said, either Disney Fox is, just really screwing up with the distribution of these, or these are selling ridiculously well, because, it seems like websites and everything are having a hell of a time keeping these in stock. But yeah, like I said, if, the idea of, the brand new, like, restore version doesn't sound good to you, you can, if you still have like a VHS tape or a laser disc, or you still got your DVD, maybe hang on to that. If you prefer that more older look and everything, like, but so overall, and I think that's one thing that definitely helps. So too is the fact that, see, this was $24.99 plus tax, so it's like $27 and change altogether. So for me, I think that's one thing that I really appreciate is the fact that, this wasn't super expensive. So at least there's that. I'm not going to be surprised. And It's like I've heard some people, like really, really tearing these releases apart. I know that this one is out of the three Cameron movies, this one is considered probably, if there was a best one out of the three, as far as like the presentation, everything goes, this would be it. But and I think Aliens is would be in the middle, and then True Lies would definitely be considered the worst. So as far as I know, True Lies is definitely considered the absolute worst of the three 4Ks. But so yeah, it's just it's just personal choice what you want to go with. But you know, yeah, I mean you do get to see an incredible amount of detail. Yes, there is HDR. You got Dolby Atmos, so the sound quality is fantastic. You know, and I mean hell, just watching on a regular. Just watching your regular speaker on your TV and everything sounds fantastic. So that's one thing I will give them credit for. The sound will blow you away. The sound is great. But yeah, it's like, if you have a sound system and everything, it's like, oh hell yeah, you're definitely gonna get a workout with this. But yeah, the one thing I think is kind of funny though is like, I'm seeing like some of these videos that are completely tearing these transfers and everything apart and stuff like this. But I can't help but think, and I'm sure other people must be thinking the same thing though too. It's like, you're sitting here and you're like really tearing these releases apart and all this kind of stuff. You're talking down on them and everything else. But you're the same kind of person who, like, if 6 months to a year down the road, we get an announcement, hey, guess what? Disney/Fox is going to do, you know, limited edition collectible 4K steelbooks for all three of these movies, and they're going to go to like Walmart or something like that, and each one is going to run like 49.95, 59.95 or something like that. It's like, yeah, as much as you're complaining about the transfers and everything else, you're still going to be one of those ones. You're going to do a video where you're like, I'm going to Walmart today, or I'm going to wherever, I'm going to go, and they got those steel books, and by gosh, I'm going to get all three of them. And you're going to walk away spending over $200, to get these in collectible steel books and everything. So it's kind of like, yeah, okay, but whatever. But it's like, yeah, I'm sure that's what will happen. But for me personally, like I said, I can get used to it and I don't mind it. Um, I do understand, yeah, but I mean that's the thing, like I said, you can either accept it and get these and try to live with it at least for the time being, or you can stay with what you already have, your DVDs or your VHS or Laserdisc or something if you prefer a more retro look to the movie. I do think, like, yeah, I'm going to feel sorry if there are people out there who are like, what needs to happen is like Kino Lorber or Arrow or somebody, like, they need to get this. They need to get the rights away from this. They need to get it away from Cameron and do a whole brand new 4K transfer and put that out. It's all like, well, good luck with that. It's like, never say never, but I don't think that that's going to happen really anytime soon. And, also, too, it's like, even if there was a chance that one of the boutique companies was able to try to get a hold of these, get the rights to any of these, like Disney/Fox is probably going to charge a fee so high that probably no boutique company would be able to afford it. None of them would. So, but like I said, I don't know. You never know. Never say never, but so it's like, yeah, this is probably about the best we're going to get for right now. So, you know, like I said, it's up to you. It's like I can't tell you what to do. So you take a chance and take a chance. And if you're willing to go for it, I say go for it. But I mean, at least if nothing else, at least you do get a more upgraded version. And even if the 4K doesn't blow you away, it's like, well, maybe the Blu-ray might win you over. But also too, it is nice still. You get all these extra bonus features and stuff like that. So like I said, it's up to you. So but just so you know, you have been warned. It's like, yes, they did try to, really modernize this film and try to make it look brand new. So you've been warned whether you go for it or not. So that's it. So if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, could you please leave a like? And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So just wait for the next batch of 4Ks to come in, and hopefully some more reviews will be on the horizon. So That's it, everybody. Take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you all later.